Since ancient times, there are many stories and legends about demons. I am telling this scary story from the mouth of one of the mentioned survivors. First of all, let me tell you, friends, that I am the story of the movies that are on the channel. I write myself, so let's get to the main story. The story of the demon and the miller man. In one of the southern villages of Iran, there was a mill that worked about 5 kilometers from a village that has a long and beautiful waterfall. This mill worked with water and made flour from the wheat of this village and the surrounding villages. But our story started when the miller went to the village to prepare provisions on a hot summer day when he reached 1 kilometer from the village. There was shouting and crying, which could be heard from the side of the village. The miller stopped his horse and listened carefully towards the sound, and was sure that it was the sound of crying and wailing from their own village. He hurried and increased the speed of his movement. On his way to the village, the fast movement of a creature that was very black caught his attention. He drove his horse with 4 hooves and went towards the scary and ugly spirit, the creature of change, did its direction and increasing its speed, and he quickly passed by the miller. The miller turned his horse after the ugly black creature. When he approached him from behind, he saw a creature with very long hair, and when it moved, this hair stretched. On the ground, the miller was a little scared, and the ugly creature continued to move regardless. The miller, being able to overcome his fear somewhat, approached the ugly fashioner and, seizing some of her hair, tied it to his horse's saddle and restrained his horse from moving. When the horse stopped, the ugly creature struggled. He tried to move but could not because his hair was tied to the saddle of the miller's horse. The miller, who had already captured the ugly creature, asked him, "Who are you? Are you a woman or a man? I am a devil woman." The miller man ordered him to turn back so that I may see your face. The demon turned his face towards the miller. The miller man shuddered at the sight of the demon's ugly face, but hid his fear. The demon had a dish in his hand. The miller asked the demon, "What do you have in the dish?" The demon did not answer. The miller gave him a few lashes. He was forced to admit that I entered the body of the Zhao woman in the village and took out her liver. And everyone thinks that this woman died in childbirth. And they don't know about me either. They don't have it. I put this woman's liver in a pan and take it to my family for dinner. The miller man looked at the jar of liver and became very upset and angry and whipped the demon so much that he begged and surrendered to the miller. The miller said to the demon, "I will release you on 2 conditions." The demon agreed. "But the first condition is that we go to the village together and put this woman's liver in it, and she will come back to life." Dave agreed. The miller said, "I will tell you the second condition after the woman comes back to life." They came to the village and went to that woman's house. The miller man said this woman is not dead and I can revive her. He entered the woman's room and examined the body. He saw the demon's 5 fingers on the bruised woman's body and immediately ordered the demon. He replaced the woman's liver, and the woman came back to life. Shouts of joy filled the village. The miller picked up the demon and left the crowd. No one but the miller could see the demon. "The second condition, listen to me," said the demon. "Tell the second condition." "My second condition is that from now on, you will always obey me and serve me, and if other devils make mistakes and harm people, forbid them from doing so." The demon agreed and gave a lock of his hair to the miller and said, "This is a sign that whoever owns it, the demons respect him." The miller took a strand of the demon's hair and began to collect the hair until it was the size of a soccer ball. Then he freed the demon and quickly returned to the village and procured provisions and returned to the mill. Now the descendants of the millers are alive, and if someone is possessed by a demon, they expel the demon from the body of the village people. And this is the story of today.